Henry Hall, Rock Island girls basketball coach and 15-year teacher at Earl Hansen Elementary School in Rock Island. Talk about, Henry, growing up in Kewanee and everything.
I was raised by two parents who were divorced. My mom was the one where my sister and my brother lived with. She did a great job of raising us to be aware of our surroundings all the time, understanding what's going on around you, but to try to make the best of everything and work as hard as you can, and everything that you would want in life and dream in life can happen. Obviously, we understood there was race things that would go around and around us, and there were instances when things would come up, but it was one of those things where you pick your battles on stuff. You couldn't get upset and mad about every single thing that happened, but you wanted people to understand that you wanted to be treated fairly and equally like everybody else did.
And generally, you said you didn't have really much trouble there, correct?
Not really. And I don't know if that was because my mom was a very popular person in town, and people respected her and understood where she came from and those kind of things. And she was very boisterous about how she wanted us to be portrayed and seen as people in the community and in the black community and the white community and what have you. But really not too much. I mean, it was there, and I think there was instances when things would happen, not necessarily to me per se, but things would happen, and you just learned to make sure that you did the right thing and understood what was going on. Stand up for yourself if you needed to, or the right that you have, stand up for. But I just give credit to her on all those things, because she really enforced us in our head the ideals of doing what you feel is right and never being questioned about who you are and what you look like and all those things. But again, not fighting every single battle with it, because it could be something that could happen every single day. And that just moved us on to as we got older and became adults and had our own family. So
Then you sounded like you didn't have that many incidents with the police in your life. Just talk a little bit about time with the police, whatever issues you had or didn't have.
You're gonna have some. I think it's just bound to happen. I mean, I had a couple instances where I was pulled over for some things that I'm not sure I really needed to be pulled over for, but maybe it's because of the car I was driving at the time, or who I was with. I know my wife and I got pulled over one time in an incident when we were younger, and it just seemed kind of fishy why we were getting pulled over. But again, we dealt with it and we handled it. It has to be one of those things where you have to understand that there are going to be some situations that occur. They're not right. It's not really fair, but you deal with them as you deal with them. And I felt like we dealt with them right and moved on. There have been some instances with my kids, more recently than me, that they've had some things happen. But again, we try to teach our kids that some of those things could happen, and here's how you're going to handle each of those situations. Not saying it's right, not saying it's fair. I just want them to understand that they have a voice, and they have to let people understand that they want to be treated fairly, just like everybody else does. But it can't be every single circumstance, because it's just going to happen. Unfortunately, now there's going to be things that are going to happen. So both dealt with it great. And I think they understand how things work, and hopefully we've taught them right from wrong and all those kind of things. So,
Okay, thank you very much, Henry Hall.
Yep.